Welcome, gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining me on the Green Living Chats podcast today. I'm really glad to have Michael Rada with me and Han. Thank you so much for coming. It's very early where you are, and thank you for waking up on a Saturday morning. Welcome.
Thanks a lot. Nice to be
Thanks.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
for me as well.
just so we could get familiar with who we are talking to, we have Michael Rada here. Maybe you can just briefly introduce yourself. And yeah.
Okay, my name is Michael. I am generally the founder of Industry 5.0, and my aim is to build a wasteless world. You can hear my previous podcast on AMET, so I think there is no need for more introduction. I will hand over to Jan.
Good morning. Hello, my name is Jan Kapperhaal, and I am coming from the paper industry, from the packaging industry, and my responsibility is to make our customers happier because they have sustainable packaging, tailor-made packaging, and in general packaging that helps them save money, save resources, sell more, of course, and minimize the risk.
I really appreciate your time, gentlemen, for coming on this show today. So it will be very interesting for us to know, Michael. I have been talking to you for a long time, and so I would like Jan to really give us a little bit introduction of how he arrived in the packaging industry, specifically in his company. I believe it's a very interesting story. So Jan, what happened? How did you get here?
Yeah, I came to SMURFIT Kappa 8 years ago, and the way or the journey how I get there uh, was a bit different, maybe because I have a degree from Czech Technical University. I am originally a structural engineer, so I am able to build a house, build a road, design a road. And after graduation, I worked in that industry. I designed roads. Uh, and a couple years ago, I decided that it's not enough for me just sit in the office at the computer and design. I wanted to change it. I wanted to have hands on it. So I decided to go on site. So I became from the designer, I became a site manager or construction manager, and I physically built the roads and structures. But in the recession, I decided to leave the industry. It was like 2010, 11, and change the job. I was not happy about that because I spent many years by learning things that I needed in the construction business. But in that time, it was somehow needed to change, to switch. And then at that time, I was asked by HR of SMURFIT Kappa whether I wouldn't like to join. So I joined them in 2013 as a design manager, head
Oh.
of the design department. And through time, I changed my job. I became experience center manager because I used my knowledge to build that facility, the experience center, one of the I think 25 experience centers in SMURFIT Kappa. Uh, and I became a manager of that. And then I became responsible for marketing and innovations in the region of Czech Republic and Slovakia. And here I am,
Yes, here
sitting
you
here
are.
with you and talking about innovation and sustainability, and with Michael, of course.
I will add one more thing. Jan mentioned this center. If you enter their company, no matter when, you enter a hall and there is a plane made of paper. The next
Wow.
time you enter it and there is a car full size made of paper. You enter it before Christmas and there is a forest made of paper made out of trees. Every time you enter the company in the hall, the designers not sell you box.
Mm-hmm.
The box is some Everybody knows they have boxes, but you enter it and they open your eyes
Wow.
because you see what everything can be made out of paper.
Yeah.
And this made me, we know each other maybe longer than this story, because Jan was in touch with logistics as well. Probably there
Oh
was the
yeah.
very first touch, probably. I'm not sure myself. Uh, but we are discussing, and all the time for me, it is a pleasure to visit because you find something really which open your eyes, and it's great about. So it
Yeah.
is just what means experience center for me visiting SMURFIT Kappa factory.
Yeah.
It's this. It open your eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, indeed, indeed. And actually, Michael, you have to visit us once the doors are open,
Yeah.
because there is a 4-meter high robot in the lobby.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I am looking forward. So
what is behind these designs? What is the concept?
Just innovation.
Wow.
Because we have an open lobby there, and
Uh-huh.
as Michael said, we want to impress the visitors, not only customers but also suppliers, also media, whoever comes. And why not to utilize the space
Yeah.
by putting a statue or a structure or
Mm-hmm.
whatever
Mm-hmm.
in that space, and we wouldn't be good marketers if we wouldn't use
For
a
sure.
corrugated, the
Mm-hmm.
material we are familiar with. So we talk to designers and, hey, what to change, what to add, what will be the next structure. Now we have a robot, we had a plane, we had a
Wow.
car, we had a forest, uh,
you have a
engine.
planet. So
Yeah.
We had a
generally,
planet, yeah.
this is the planet which was made for exhibition, but at the end I asked for it, and SMURFIT Kappa was so nice to give it to me. And since then, everybody who enter Industry 5.0 office, the first what he or she see is a planet made out of cardboard.
Yeah.
But
I should get
Michael,
more
I have to
products
I
in.
have to complain here. I have to complain here because I don't see the Smurfit Kappa tag on it.
Yes. Where are you hiding it?
It's here below, but to be honest, I don't see it as well. But no, sorry.
Yeah, over there, Smurfit. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh
You
yeah. Yeah, yeah, I
there.
saw
It
something.
is
Yeah.
there. Don't. I promise it to be here, so it is here.
Okay, okay, perfect.
All right. So let's get to know some of your products now. I mean, I didn't know your company initially, but when I got to see the website, I was just going through and looking at the products that you guys have, variety of products for different for packaging different things. So can you tell us more about some of these products? What are some of the clients that you work with? How do you what goes into the designing? Which materials do you use? Let's get a little more to know what Smurfit does.
Okay. In general, in terms of products, we deliver to our customers. We can do almost anything in terms of packaging. Uh, but of course, we have a few special applications or special innovative designs, new campaigns, which I can talk about. And firstly, I would mention the very latest product, and it's called Topclip. Topclip is packaging for can multipacks. As you know, the common way how to pack a six pack is to use a plastic foil or plastic rings.
Mhm.
This is the most used type or way of how to pack cans in the world. And we don't like it. Not because it's plastic, but we don't like it because it's single-use plastics,
Okay.
which very often ends up in the ocean. You know, the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, which is enormously huge. I have heard it's like 3 times France, something like. It's huge, and 99% of this patch is plastic,
Yeah.
and we don't like it because we as a humankind produced waste, and we want to change it. We wanted to change it. So we came with an innovation. Why not to change the plastic packaging for the paper-based packaging, which is fully biodegradable, recyclable, and renewable. And on top of it, if it gets out of the recycling system, out of the collecting system, out of the sorting system, basically, if we as consumers just throw it away instead of a bin, it dissolves, yeah, in the water within 8 weeks. So we came with Topclip, which is fully paper-based packaging that covers the top of the cans. You can carry the multi-pack. You can grab just one can. It withstands also the humid environment, the
Mhm.
condensation which
Yeah.
appears on the cans. Uh, it's great from the marketing point of view because the top side is fully printable. You can use it. Uh, it saves up to 30% of carbon footprint compared to plastic foil. It has no glue in it.
Wow.
It's completely 100% plastic free. So, and it's just a simple sheet of corrugated which is applied uh, automatically on the cans. So this is the world's, I would say, innovation. We can deliver. Sorry, we can supply. We can bring also the automation. We have three ways how to apply it on the cans: slow, mid speed, and the high speed. So this was the top clip. Another very recent innovation is I would call it safe and green, which is the name how we promote it. And another example of replacing single-use plastic, because fruit and vegetable is mostly sold in plastic trays,
Yeah. Mostly.
and these trays are again single-used. So we try to replace them by paper-based trays called punnets, which is again machine erected, machine glued. They need to be glued to be able to close them. Uh, and another benefit for the nature, for the environment, to reduce the plastics. In general, we try to replace the plastics in application when it makes sense. Where is the logic behind?
Yeah.
So we initially don't want to replace, let's say, PET bottle, because we can't at that moment, because the paper doesn't have such an ability, such a capabilities as plastic has. We are not against plastic, because we know that the plastics has a lot of advantages which paper or some other materials cannot have.
Yeah.
So the barriers,
Yeah.
the the I have to say the costs, because the plastics are so cheap, which is the reason, or one of the reasons it's so widespread all over the world. Uh, the shape ability, let's say, how to call it.
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
You can make any shape out of
Yeah.
plastics,
Elasticity. Yeah.
which is not that easily possible with paper or corrugated. Uh, But in general, we very often replace EPS, polystyrene, which is compared to paper way expensive in a way of the whole costs in the whole supply chain of our customers, because the the forms, the molds, it's very expensive. Then you transport and store air, basically, because it's lightweight,
Hmm.
and you have to store them, transport, compared to corrugated, it's a lot of costs.
Yeah.
And at the end life, the end of life phase, the end of life scenario, it's a nightmare for polystyrene, because you it's very difficult to recycle. Uh, it's uh, it's not able to use it for the same application. Uh, and for the consumer, in a way that I receive a parcel, for example, full of polystyrene parts. It's a nightmare to get rid of it,
Yeah.
and I don't like it. It's not monomaterial solution, which should be the way
Mm-hmm.
to deliver, to make, to think about monomaterial solutions. But these were just few examples.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I would like to just generalize what we do for the customers. We need to know their supply chain. And once we know their supply chain, which means we pack it here, we unbox it here, or our customer, our the end user unboxes it in here. We know every single step in between. So distribution centers, warehouses, retail, whatever. If they describe the whole supply chain and we know the conditions, distances, way of transport, humidity, temperature, we have the capabilities to define the requirement of such a supply chain, and we know what the box should survive in terms of the bare loading capacity. And that's the moment we as a paper and packaging experts
Yeah.
step in, because if we have the limit we have to reach, we know which papers and how the papers should be used in the corrugated to design a box that is capable of surviving such a supply chain,
Yeah.
uh, not to overpack, not
Mm-hmm.
to underpack, just be on a little bit on the safe side, but we very precisely what the BCT level for that supply chain should be. And this is always a discussion with the customer, because the
Yeah.
customer many times says we need a box that has the BCT level of, let's say, 5,000. And then we go through our process, our tools, and say, well, but the supply chain you have just described us says
Exactly.
that the box should be just 3,000 kilonewtons. What is the difference of the 2,000? Because the 2,000 kilonewtons or newtons, sorry, this is the space where you can save your money.
Exactly.
This is the space where you overpack for no reason.
Yeah.
So either you have the reason which you haven't told us, or you wanted to be on the safe side so much because maybe your previous supplier wasn't able to deliver a box of 3,000, so you told him 5,000, and
Mm-hmm.
his worst box will reach at least the 3,000. So a lot of discussions,
Wow.
and customers say, well, whew, how can you predict that? Yes, we have a very sophisticated tools. Sorry,
Interesting.
I
I have talked so much. Over to Michael.
You have talked so much, but you did not mention that you do not only work asking your client. What I like about SMURFIT Kappa is generally they are proposing solution nobody asked for, but
Yes.
everybody loves, like a box which turn in a if you deliver a food for animal for
Yeah.
cat, then it turn in a tray in which the cat can live or play with.
Hmm.
And this is exactly, I love IKEA packaging because it's so simple, straight, and so on. But there is one issue which I point IKEA for many years, for 10 years already. Please put on the box a manual how to fold and made out of it another table.
Yeah.
It's the it's huge. Why not? It's so simple.
Mm-hmm.
Jan knows better than me that it will be such a simple point just to make few lines on it or even the bending.
Exactly.
Easy. And I would love to. I do not want to take care and throw it away in a garbage immediately after I unpack the bed. I will make a side table out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the point IKEA is still missing. But I love it with Jan. And he did not mention that because they have so many of those
Yes, they do.
that it's a pity. You
Yeah.
Yeah,
should do.
you're right. You're
Yeah.
right. This way, or this kind of added value is specific for the e-commerce, but of course not only e-commerce, but in e-commerce channel,
Yes.
it has or makes sense to have it, because in the e-commerce, in the moment the end user or the consumer unboxes the packaging, he has already purchased the product, he has already paid for the product. It's
Yeah.
so the box is not about it's not about increased sales or to convince him to buy. It's about the resale, the
Yeah.
repetitive order, the repeat order, and maybe more about, not about sales, but more about the loyalty, the customer loyalty,
Mm.
how to bond the customer with the brand. And if you have two examples, just unboxing a brown box and unboxing a printed box, a communicating box, which is not only just the brand, but also the sustainability benefits.
Yeah.
You could link your customer directly to your marketing channels like Facebook, LinkedIn, the one with the square pictures, how it's called. Uh, I don't
Instagram.
remember. Instagram, yeah. And now you see immediately I don't use it so often. uh, so communicate with the customer, show him another product, and involve him in the
Hmm.
customer community. For example,
Yeah.
one of our customers, which is selling products for kids, has a huge community of customers or followers, or how to call them, and on the packaging they have the links to the YouTube channels, to Twitter, to Facebook channels. And even before our meetings, our innovation meeting, or how to say, yeah, it was a workshop basically,
Yeah. Hmm.
I checked all these channels, uh, and I was shocked because our task was to come up with an idea.
Hmm.
We have a list of ideas what to do with the box after unboxing, which is exactly the second life of the box Michael was talking about. And we had, let's say, 8 ideas on the list. And I checked their YouTube channel, checked the Facebook channel, and was shocked, keep my mouth open, because
Wow.
6 out of these 8 ideas was already there, or were already there. So it was like, wow, our ideas are screwed because they already know them.
Yes.
Uh, so
Wow.
we
I
had to
love
came with
this.
new ideas. And I remember it's not only about the loyalty and the kind of make customers happy, and not only about individuals. I remember a project. I think it was in Holland, in Netherlands, when we delivered our boxes to non-government organization, which were shipping food and medicals to shelters,
Hmm. Yeah.
uh, refugee shelters, I think.
Hmm.
So they used these boxes, and we, in advance, we thought about what about to give another life, another function to these
To
boxes, not
these
only to deliver,
boxes. Hmm.
yeah, not only to deliver these products. I mean the food and the medicals, the pills. So our boxes were made in a way that once unboxed, these refugees can make a furniture out of them, a
Wow.
stool, a table, a wardrobe. So they used it 100%
So
and it
cool.
helped them.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it just has this idea of, these ice cream where you can just eat the ice cream and after just chew whatever thing that comes with. So it's nice to have packaging that can be used for something. So as soon as you just take it out, you're so expectant to craft it into something else. I love this idea. But Jan and Mike, I really want to get your mind on this. The packaging industry right now, currently, I can say this confidently, that has been attacked in so many different ways when it comes to sustainability, because all this sort of pollution that we see in the oceans, whether food, plastics, paper, glass, whatever. It's just because of the problem that comes with recycling and also littering and all that. So the packaging industry has a very huge question mark when it comes to selecting materials and all that. I know that from what you're saying right now, it looks like you guys are putting a lot of efforts into trying to, find other uses. One, use sustainable materials, and then use probably other ones that might not be more sustainable. And in case you don't have any other choice, you have to have a good reason to be using that. And then also having recycling in mind. But then can you highlight what your company does when it comes to sustainability, and what do you specifically consider your packaging in terms of recycling? Because of course, if a package was not made with recycling in mind, it's difficult to recycle it. So how do you guys combine these two? I think Michael would like to say something.
Before I let Jan to speak, I will answer one thing, and Jan mentioned it several times.
Yeah,
We don't have to think that plastic is an evil. It's
exactly.
not. It is paper is not evil, wood is not evil, aluminium is not evil. Generally, none of the material is evil. The single use is the issue and the biggest issue, which is you mentioned in the last sequence, which cannot be, but generally, the waste does not can become waste if we do not waste it. And that's exactly about the secondary idea,
Yeah.
which I love about SMURFIT Kappa and their products, and some other, of course, which deliver the idea, let's use the plastic bottle again, just refill it. It's so simple to do it.
Yeah.
And it's the single use. Just now I let Jan to explain how they do it. From my point of view as Industry 5.0 and the waste prevention on a global level, it's not the product. It's our mindset which
Yeah.
turns a product into a waste,
Mhm.
but and our behavior, but not the
The
product itself.
material. Yeah.
Yeah, I fully agree, and I have, let's say, the honor or the luck to work for SMURFIT Kappa, because in SMURFIT Kappa, the sustainability is the core of our business. Everything we do, we try to do in a sustainable way. And lucky us, because we have the sustainable product basically, because we work with paper. And we not only work with it, we make it, because we have forests, we have our own trees. We make the paper, and we make the corrugated out of the paper, and
Mm.
we make boxes out of corrugated. And the material from the beginning is made to be recycled. Paper is the material with highest rate in Europe of collection and recycling. 90% of all the papers in Europe, all the paper as a material, is collected. And the majority of it is also recycled. And we contribute to this because we not only sell the boxes, so it's not only the outcome to give the paper out or away, but we also collect it, because we have also SMURFIT Kappa recycling, and we use the recycled paper, of course, as a raw material for making paper again, making the recycled paper, the test liners. And uh, the loop is closed, at least in a way we can secure it, or we can be sure it is. So internally, every paper waste, every gram, every ton of paper waste, which we as a SMURFIT Kappa are creating, and we are, because imagine a box. Uh, you have holes in it. So the hole, you have to press it out. The customer doesn't want to deliver it. And the round shape, it's a waste, and we collect it.
Yeah.
And every single waste from our uh, production facilities goes back, is collected by SMURFIT Kappa Recycling, and it's brought to our paper mills, recycled paper mills. So the
Mm,
loop is closed. So paper waste we are producing is going back to Smurfit Kappa and is being used to make paper. Because and if someone doesn't want to hear it or doesn't get it, to be able to have a paper, and nowadays or recently, it's the market is more focused on recycled paper, because the word recycled sounds to them like, oh, it's more sustainable because it's recycled. But the sustainability in this way doesn't have one unified correct answer. In this way, the recyclability of the paper is great, for sure. But the craft paper, the paper made from wood, is more sustainable in a way of carbon emissions, of the carbon footprint, because while being produced, we use the green energy, the biomass energy.
mm,
So it has lower CO2 emissions. And to be able to produce recycled paper, there is no way or no other way than have the raw paper, the craft paper. There is no recycled paper without the virgin paper. And people need to understand this. So within Smurfit Kappa, there is a closed loop of how to manage the paper waste and how to make it a material or raw material again.
Uh, Jan mentioned that in Europe is the situation. I would be interested, David, how is it in Ghana and in Africa with the paper packaging and the recycling and collection? Is it a common for paper or not yet?
For paper, it's not common because right now the biggest problem right now is with the plastic waste. So more of the collection is going into the recycling, picking up of plastic waste from different joints and other things. But for paper, it has been something that has been in the system for a very long time. And so people do recycle them, but the rates cannot be compared to plastics right now. Plastic is way at the front of recycling right now in Africa.
So generally, we can say that if there will be a player like Smurfit Kappa who will enter
That will be
Africa, will
good
offer an alternative to plastic
for
and
so many
came with
products.
a
So
and
many products.
came with a not just with a product but with a solution
Mhm.
as a closed loop as the undescribed,
Yeah.
there is a huge potential because the of course the quantity of people in Africa is
Hmm.
growing
Hmm.
significantly. So as the World Bank predicts, it should triple the volume of waste till 2050 generally. And
Yeah.
this is a shame. It's not a plan, it's a shame. And especially if there are players like SmartFit Kappa who
Yeah.
can do it, who are all already present on a global scale, just the Africa is missing. So I think, Jan, this output is quite interesting for your
Yes.
bosses. So
Yes.
Guys, I have to put Africa on the list.
Yes, please do. Consider Ghana first. We are up for this because the good thing here is most of, as you said earlier, plastic is really cheap, right? Though
It
of course
is.
there is nothing wrong with it. Looking at its properties and the price that it comes with, no one thinks of any other thing. But well, if you can produce a package for so many products, and the good thing about Africa now is lots of the countries are developing at a very fast rate, which means they are coming in with industries. People are becoming more of entrepreneurs. So the lots of packaging are in the system. Meanwhile, the Europeans and the Americans are far ahead of, let's say, buying things online and then it's packaged home to you. Now, this is now developing in Africa. So packaging has become a very huge part of the whole system. So should we bring this concept in there? It's a very, very good location for, this kind of initiatives. And honestly, I wanted to ask you about this because it's a very, let's say, uncomfortable question to ask because looking at what you're investing into thinking more about innovative packaging, and it being sustainable, it being recyclable, it being able to be reused, modified into other products. What do you generally think about what other people are putting out there and the image that you're creating in there? Does that affect your business in any way? And then a follow-up question will be that, with all the effort you're putting into this, does it bring profits? Because yes, you're putting efforts into green energies, you're putting efforts into making your systems recyclable and sustainable. People have this concept that if we move away from certain products and certain way of making things, it's not going to bring profit. Now we have a sample here. Now we have a good example here. Is this making profits? And what do you generally think about other people and how they are behaving in this industry?
Uh, if I can, I would start with the second question.
Perfect.
Is this behavior bringing profit? Good question. And our customers are asking completely the same question. Maybe they are not asking it, maybe they are answering it in advance, and their answer before we can say anything is no, it will not bring me the profit. The general opinion is that the sustainability is just costing more and doesn't bring the profit. And it's no matter whether we are talking about our customers and their businesses or our business and our potential profit. Uh, the important idea behind is that the profit is not only measurable in terms of money. You have to take into account that the profit for you as a human, as Michael Rada is, for you as a company, for you as an entrepreneur and as a businessman, of course you have to count or calculate your money.
Yeah.
But the profit for you as a human, it's not only monetizable in this way, because the benefits for the planet, for the environment, for us as a humankind, for the future, this is something we have to take into account. And businesses are not doing that very often, but we try to translate it into the money talks. Uh, because if they would not, or if we as a humankind would not think about the future, about the
Yeah.
sustainable behavior, about the sustainable way of doing things, packaging, whatever, uh, it will end up, we will have to pay more for the things we are using now, for the same type of material, for the
Yeah.
same processes, we will have to pay more. And in the business language, dear customer, if you will not step in the sustainable behavior, set up sustainable targets using sustainable materials, packaging, whatever, you will end up in 5 years
Yeah.
without customers at all, because the new generations are more and more focusing. They are called millennials, yeah. Then these millennials are more and more focusing on sustainability.
Yeah.
They pick the products, they pick the packaging based on how sustainable they are, how sustainably the company behaves, how sustainable their processes are. So it's not only let's say 50 years old guy deciding as a managing director, I will not go to sustainability because it will not bring me any money. No, it's about thinking in a way how your customers think.
Yeah.
And 20 years guy really thinks about whether he buys a bottle of the classic old-fashioned PET
Yeah.
or a bottle which is made from rPET, recycled PET. And based on this solution, which was, or this choice,
Hmm.
which was made 2-3 years ago, yes, we as a company will go for rPET material.
Hmm.
Now, 4 years after, you are losing your customer. Your customer you were counting on that you will have a margin, you will have a benefit from. So this is the benefit. It's kind of hidden potential, or
Mm-hmm.
in this way. And we
Yeah.
try to translate it in this way to our customers.
Wow. Yes, Michael.
I just correct one thing. Thank you, Jan, for naming me a human, but what I see on the screen, there are three humans talking because we are understanding the connection between us and the planet. But speaking the business language, for 8 years, I'm asking my clients only one and single question. Do you want to generate waste or profit? And for 8 years, everyone, every CEO, every company, even every cleaning lady will answer, I prefer profit instead of waste. And what I am happy that finally, after so long time, and with the help of SMURFIT Kappa, with the help of AMET, and with the help of many, the ideas are transferred into reality. And finally, even the European Commission Green Deals and so on, which are partly just marketing tools, but we turn it into reality. If you buy a package made out of from Kappa for a client who is environmental and sustainable, open eyes guy, you will get a sustainable package and you will behave sustainable way with it. So even the package educate the client to behave better.
Exactly.
And this is why, because we have to use the, I call it on the ground minds in the Industry 5.0. This is everything what we have. It can be box, it can be pencil, it can be whatever. And every single item, it's on the ground mind. Let's use it. Don't throw it away. Because if we throw it away, there is only one industry which benefit from, and this is the waste industry.
Yeah.
And finances, of course. But the waste industry is the first one. They jump in 5 years from number 5 to number 3, and it's expected that next year it will be the second most profitable industry in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Skipping crude oil, skipping slavery, skipping even drugs. So only the war industry should be more profitable than the waste industry. That's something which is very sad image.
Yeah.
And I am happy that we deliver something what you can touch. And if you can touch it, it's not just your brain, but it's the, I don't know how it's called officially. There is a some name.
Mm-hmm.
Generally, it's connected, the touching, it's connected with your brain, and you will remember much more better than that you have this stand for your mobile and that it's made from the rest paper, red's plywood generally, which otherwise will be thrown away.
Yeah.
At the same time, part of the package can become exactly the same. Why not? You unpacked and you have your stand for your mobile. So you see, this is what I call design storms, because right now we have not only changed the mindset, we have developed a new product. And I'm sure I will see it soon in someone's package will be transferred into this. We are doing the transformers, but in the reality, we don't need the cars and movies for that.
Yeah.
Sorry for interrupting.
It's okay. I just want to go back into the first question that I asked. That, Michael, I would like to hear your thoughts on this. What do you generally think about the packaging industry right now? And what are some of the loopholes and what are the things that we can learn from SMURFIT? Yeah.
One of the issues is that we have learned, or the industry has learned, that if you have a certificate on the wall, you are sustainable. That's not true. You pay for the certificate, you buy it, and generally you lie yourself that you are sustainable. So the first point to understand is certificate does not make anyone sustainable.
Thank you.
No matter whether it's called SDG goal, whether it's called ISO 4000, 14,000, whatever, it doesn't matter. Certificate on the wall is nothing in a matter of sustainability, just additionally cost. If we understand this, if the industries understand this, and including the packaging industry, the next step should be to understand that even less can mean more, which means if you produce less pieces, but you sell it more expensive, your profit will be higher. It's very simple. But the people do not understand because before they follow only more is better, more is more profitable. But in fact, more means more waste, more cost, more, and at the end, more damage. So these two principles, if they will be understood, and this is exactly what SMURFIT Kappa does. Usually, I do not ask the client what he wants because of the professional blindness of the certificates on the wall. No, I came there, I use my eyes to see, and I use the rich experience and the contacts which you, with SMURFIT Kappa, with children in school, with students, with a huge amount of people, combined with my experience, and I deliver a solution which nobody asked for. And this is exactly what the packaging industry should understand as a global. And last thing, sorting is not recycling. That's important. Throwing something in a garbage bin of the right color does not mean I am recycling. And this is very important. At the moment, it looks like, because the waste industry teach us this, if you ask on a conference with 1,000 people who recycling, everybody raise their hands up. They are lying, sorry, they are just sorting. Almost nobody is recycling. And to have the closed loops, not just of one company, but of many industries together, because it will reduce the cost. I'm a logistician, so I'm speaking about this experience. We will be able to really even reduce the cost of the recyclable to put it in the system, and maybe we will balance it very soon with the new material with a positive impact additionally. Because SMURFIT Kappa has their own forest. They will never cut it to zero because then they will have no forest. That's so simple. So the ownership of all these is very important. And I am happy that the first trials already keep the producer ownership behind. Not nameless. No, every single piece in the ocean has its name on it. Its brand, Coca-Cola, whatever. It is their brand. It's very easy to find out who was behind. If you would like to hear it. So this, from my point of view, yes, packaging industry can change, same as all the others, but they have to understand these very simple principles, which I mentioned.
I fully agree. These principles are very simple, and I think the basic is maybe not to approach them or to apply them as businesses, as industries, but as individuals, because every single person, every single inhabitant of the earth has to behave sustainable, and in this way, I would say the sorting, and I agree with your opinion, Michael, but the sorting is the first step, and we can't go to the second step without incorporate or without getting the first step, the sorting, into our veins. And if the society can't sort, they have no material to recycle. So we have to teach the public, we maybe as a paper industry, maybe as a packaging industry, maybe as a governments, we need to teach people first to sort. And the sorting systems should be easy to understand. I just one short mention about the bioplastics. I believe in bioplastics, but we are not there yet. And the bioplastics in the current status quo,
so many
they would
question
just,
marks.
they would just add some additional stream or streams into the sorting system. It will be rather I forget the word, difficult for the customers to for the end users to define which kind of plastics they have in their hands right now. So bioplastics, yes, let's develop them, but they are not ready now. So I skip them.
Uh, I will add one more thing. It is important to teach the people, and in Europe and in many continents, we have teach the people to sort already. But the issue is that the waste companies, waste industry, does not utilize it correctly, but they just increase their profit because we made their work, their job,
Yeah.
and we even paid for our job. And this is the issue which I see in my journey, that people can do, they prove they can do, they are willing to do. But the waste industry, instead of recycling, just resell. Without consideration what will happen at the end, they just go for price, the best price. This is why you see on the collection, waste collection places, they are waiting for the best price. There are huge halls, huge hills,
Yeah.
full of waste, and they do not put it in a stream. They just wait for the best price. And that's generally the biggest loop or the biggest hole in the system at the moment,
Yeah.
that people learned how to, but somebody who should be responsible for it didn't do their work correctly. This is why, from my point of view, we have to change the legislation. Do not call recycling if I just collect and sell or press it. That's not recycling. What is doing Kappa is recycling. What are doing many other companies is recycling, but not the waste industry. They are just collecting the waste and maybe adding some small top like pressing or crashing, and that's all. The rest they
But
sell.
as you
But this
said,
is
sorry, Michael, as you said, we have the benefit that we have the closed loop, inter-company loop.
Yeah.
We doesn't have to wait for better price. We just sell it to ourselves for a normal price, let's say, because we have
exactly
to. We are forced to sell it to ourselves
Yeah.
because of the business rules, you know. But it's not about business. It's not about businesses. It's about the governments, as you said.
Mm-hmm.
They have to set the legislation in a way that no matter what the cost is, they have to sell, and they will sell the material, and the loop will be again closed, and the material flow will be
Yes.
constant, continual.
it has to be streamed up. This is one thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the second, if we stream it up, even the price will be better. So it's
Yeah.
very simple. It's all generally, it's all about logistics, which sounds crazy, but it is so, because if we make it really streamlined or lean, we can call it, or whatever, it doesn't matter,
Mm-hmm.
then it will be right. And the government has to support it. Unfortunately, at the moment, many governments are governed or paid by the waste industries because this is the third most profitable one.
Yeah.
So why should they care? I can say it. I didn't take a single penny out of any government, so I can be this way. And even the waste industry does not like my work, but it is my work. I have only one aim, and I'm very happy, both of you. The work which you do really help to make the world wasteless. Because I do not want to work and live, and my children live with a face mask every single day.
Yeah.
That
I think
will be
I think
wrong.
in this way, I think we are on the same page because we all know that this change is needed, and I think and strongly believe that even the society, as a we as a people living on the planet, are now switching that yes, we know the change is needed, and the governments, they just have to catch up. They have to catch up and rework the legislation and follow the trend. And the trend is not just kind of modern for 1, 2, 3 years. No, this will cause a change in the mindset of all the people, the new customers, customers of the customers. So It's not about the government. Any government will say, "Oh yeah, we will wait 1, 2, 3, 5 years, and this will be over."
Exactly.
No, this will be still here, and we have to react. The governments have to react. The law systems have to react.
I am very happy to hear that because it's exactly the way we have waited for too long that somebody will solve the issue for us.
Exactly.
But at the moment, we have to be the people itself has to be the force which push the governments. I'm not a communist, but generally it has to be the people who force, and we see it. Even Greta, which stand at the beginning of this, let's call it global movement, no matter what, if right now and so on, but she cannot be resisted. I am too old, I am guy, I am white, so why anybody should listen to me? But she was too young, she was ill, she was student not going to school. So that was great. And
Yeah,
I
I
do
agree.
believe that even the millions of people who strike every Friday finally recognize that striking for strike does not make any change. It will generate just another strike. But if they take the future, if they don't ask, make our future better, but if they do their future better,
Yeah.
that will change. And this is exactly what Jan says, what you says, David. So that's exactly, we have to deliver this speech as we talk to the people. They have to understand because many don't see it. And what is the difference between man and company? Almost nothing. A company is 1,000 men. That's the difference. So if we change one,
46,000 in SMURFIT Kappa.
yeah, 46,000 people change with change mindset, which means multiplied by 3 are the families, multiplied by 10 are the friends. And this is why Industry 5.0 aim the industries and the companies, because it's not just one individual. Every single one is important, but one company for me, it's a huge number of people who are connected. We are
Yeah.
speaking right now from Czech Republic to Ghana to China generally. So three of us can influence a huge number of companies and people to do it.
Yeah.
And that's exactly the way how it's done. We have nothing to hide. We just would like to share our knowledge.
Mhm.
And
I
that's exactly, sorry, David,
sure, sure,
just
sure. Go on, go on.
this brought me to an idea, because this is the reason why SMURFIT Kappa does what it does. So it's the company that is trying to doing their best in a field they operate. We are making packaging solutions, helping our customers, and we try to do it in the best way possible. So without using single-use materials, saving raw resources, while we clever use the material to use less of the material to deliver more. Like we use in a smart way the papers, the layers in the corrugated, because we precisely know what they are capable of.
Yeah.
And to switching the papers, we are with the same material, by just switching papers, we gain more performance. So we can deliver a box which is stronger. We can deliver a box which is less volume, because we know how to pack the products, whether to make large box or narrow box or high
Yeah.
box. This is our know-how. So this is what we do as a company to support our customers. But we know it's about what we are doing as individuals. So we, with our Better Planet Packaging initiative, and it's shame on me I haven't mentioned it yet, uh, which is exactly the goal of Better Planet Packaging, is to reduce the packaging waste.
Yes.
That's so simple. And based on the BPP, we already 2 years ago, we had in all our facilities a kind of project. BPP starts with me. Sounds great, but it works great. We ask all our employees to come up with ideas, common ones, even wild ones, how to make things and processes
Yeah.
more sustainable. And we have, in one plant, we had 100 ideas. And imagine we have 355 plants all over the world.
Wow.
So the amount of ideas was enormous. And in every single plant, top of these ideas were implemented. So it was so simple, like, for example, just few of them. When we were sampling products, like prototyping of the boxes, sending to the customer to check them and try them on their machines, whatever, we were bundling them with foil, like
Mm.
10 boxes, foil them. And we said, well, guys, we have a lot of paper behind in the corrugating hall. Why not to bundle them in paper? It's so simple. Yes. But not only designers, also guys in the warehouse. Like he said, we are putting, for some customers, we are putting the wooden tops on the pallets. And these tops are getting back to our factory in some time. But the specific customer is bundling or stripping these wooden tops with a stripe. And the second step is they are foiling it.
Mm.
Please tell the customer that the foil is not needed, because the first step before we put it in the warehouse again, we have to unfoil it, and the foil has no effect, no benefit. So we just called the customer and told them, dear customer, please do not foil it because we don't need it and we will save foil. Oh, wow, great. Another from the laboratory, the lab technician told us, every week we have to work out, let's say, 200 reports from the BCT testing, ECT testing, weighting of the material, whatever, and report it to the customer. And we have to send it in paper form. Why not to deliver it just in PDF? Dear customer, would it be possible? Oh, yes, we haven't thought about that. So these simple ideas, like replace the plastic bottles for glass bottles or for water fountains, remove the coffee machine with the capsules for the coffee machine that just melts the coffee beans. These are so simple, and they begins in our as individuals. I have an idea, so I will share it. We can discuss it, and whether it's a bad one or a brilliant one, we will define not define. We will decide whether it's and how it's incorporatable into the process. So very simple.
Wow.
Great
This,
about it is, the great about it is, sorry, David, the great
it's
about
okay.
it is that if you try it, what will happen? So if you do not succeed, there will be the old style. But if you do it the right way, you generally start to change the world. And this is why the 6R methodology and so on. This is exactly, you involve yourself in the system. You can come home and say to your child, I am starting to save the world because I did this. And your children will see it with very different eyes. And that's exactly the point. Let's touch the world, don't make it virtual, as many try at the moment, say the future is digital. No, I do not want to be digitalized myself to be happy. I would like to eat the bread, the physical bread, because there is no bread in digital world which I can eat. So as the water, I cannot drink there. And I know there is a lot of referring to water reduction in SMURFIT Kappa, and so many across all the segments. And this is exactly because the cleaning lady sees different options than the technician, than the engineer, but if we put it together, if we make something like the environment Jan right now described, that's the point. This is why you make the library. This is why we are doing all together.
Yeah.
Because together we will take this one rope and we will have it. If we do not, spread out and there is no impact at the end. Sorry to step in.
Thank you, Jan, so much for all these inputs. And I think that your company is a very good example for others to follow because we can still do it. You're showing physically that this thing is possible. And this is also in line with what Michael and our team are all preaching, that definitely we can keep this whole system in a simple loop, right? And I like the strategies and the things that you guys have put in place to make sure that this loop keeps, everything stays within the loop and it keeps working. And I love these examples that you gave from the technicians. And I mean, people just sit down with, it means that we are daily thinking about ways to recognize, to reduce, to really realize that what can we do with the waste that we are producing. It's very nice that it means that everyone is involved in the company to make sure that we reach the goal of, keeping everything within the loop. So now let's do some marketing. I think this will be the last question I'll be asking on this session. So how can people find you? How can people work with you? What kind of products do you guys make packages for? So maybe if people are interested in reaching you to start some business with your company, and please let us know when we are moving to set up in Africa.
Before Jan answer, I will just slightly correct your question. Please, Jan, tell us on which packaging we cannot see you, because otherwise the list, David, will be too long and we will have spent the whole weekend in here. Oh,
Yeah,
it's your turn, Jan.
good point, Michael. Good point, because definitely this list of the packaging areas or types we cannot deliver will be much shorter than what we can deliver, because the range of the products we are capable of packing is so wide. It's from the food and beverages to crankshaft for a tractor, for example. We can pack a car as well. It's so wide, so I will not name them.
For
I
sure.
will not even name the industries. Uh, but we have a lot of specialties like bag in box. We can, in a way, replace a bottle. And we have a plastic bag. Yes, I admit it, we have a plastic in a box, but the way the bag in box is transported is way more sustainable than to transport either plastic or glass bottles because of the air shipped, etc., etc. But how to reach us? Okay, Michael.
Just one point. You can refill the bag. Not too many work with it, but I tested in here, and you can refill the bag and use it again and again and again. So just this is one point which I tested here in one of the projects.
Anytime I
Uh,
visit Michael, I think we are going to Smurfit.
yeah,
For
why
We
not?
are
sure,
coming to see.
You
it's
are
close here, so it's
welcome.
not far.
Yeah, and it brought me an idea into mind. Why not to make the bag in box, for example, a globetrotter? So once you empty it, you will immediately fill it and send it somewhere else. But it's about, again, how to bring the raw material, the product, into
Yes.
your place.
And
Wow.
generally, cleaning of the bag is one of
And
the issue,
cleaning again,
Yeah.
because
for
at the
sure.
moment the valve which is
Mm-hmm.
connected is
Mm-hmm.
not connected as a double. You can use it as a double way, but it's not. But we are discussing it with the producers already. So
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Okay.
just closed the discussion about bag in box.
Yeah.
With using bag in box and replacing plastic containers, jars, whatever, we are saving 80% of plastics used in
Yeah.
terms of the weight of the material.
Mm-hmm.
And how to reach us? Yeah,
Yes.
it's very simple, very simple. We have either a global web page, which is smurfitkappa.com, or local web pages, smurfitkappa.cz, for example, in Czech Republic. And on that page, you will find not only the packaging, not only the sustainability uh, goals, for example, because we have new goals, but also kind of a contact form. You can get in touch. Or we are very active on LinkedIn. We have a corporate account on LinkedIn, SMURFIT Kappa. We have also colleagues as me or many other colleagues that are very active on LinkedIn. So just reach us on LinkedIn and get in touch, and we can start a discussion. Maybe not as a supplier and customer, but as two guys which would like to share ideas, not only on sustainability but on business, on products, whatever. We have also Facebook. Again, the corporate one and the local ones, which are more these pages or this marketing channel or this channel, communication channel, is focused rather on the local communities. We are not selling through Facebook yet, maybe, but we are in touch with the community. We have the followers, which are of course our customers in that locations, but many other which are members of the local communities, and we care a lot about the local communities, not only supporting them in terms of money, but also in terms of the material. We deliver a lot of corrugated to kindergartens, to school, to local authorities, to institutions, and not only the final like trash bins or boxes, but also just sheets. And let's create, dear kids, to support the creativity in the neighborhood and potentially to grow up a new designer in the neighborhood.
Wow.
I think Jan he is all the time forgetting something. So generally,
I didn't know about that, but you are reminding me.
He forget that if you go to generally many packaging competitions, design competitions, you will find SMURFIT Kappa there as well. Usually in the top position, frequently in the winner. So this is one of the points where you can find really great, not ideas, they transfer. What I like about SMURFIT Kappa is that they do not just deliver the ideas. They deliver the product, they test it in a real business environment, and then after that they say, hey, we just made this, so you can use it. And that's so great because you can touch it. You can go to the next store and you just pick it up there because they do not promise, they deliver the result. And this is one of the big differences. So this just small to add. I know you do not speak about your awards, but
yeah, you are right. You are right. This year, six World Star Awards were awarded to SMURFIT Kappa.
Wow.
And somehow it happened that 5 of these 6 SMURFIT Kappa awards were from Czech Republic.
Congratulations.
5 World Star Awards in Czech Republic. For the first time ever, we had more than 3. For the first time ever, we have 5 within the SMURFIT Kappa, all entries. And it's like, wow. And the funny thing is that, of course, there is a process how to get to the World Star, because firstly, you have to be recognized as the national winner of the national packaging competition. And the funny thing is, when I am asking within the Czech and Slovak region, dear designers, what do you have? Which design should be applicable for the national packaging competition? And they, as we all are, the professional blindness, because we see, no, this is a normal box, normal box, normal box. We don't have anything special. Then you have to change the point of view. You have to watch the box from the customer perspective, from the end user perspective. And there are 2 or 3 boxes. Last year, there were 3 or 2 boxes which all the designers were, oh, it's normal one, nothing special. And I said, well, but it's for the first time we are using this way of closing or reclosing. And this is so simple. It will win. I promise you it will win. No. Yes. Obal Roku, which is the packaging of the year, and consequently even the World Star. So it's about to step in the shoes of our customers, of the audience, of
Yeah.
the other side of the issue, of the problem. And once being there, now you see the broader horizons. You see the different pains they have, different aspects. Not only will it fit for our corrugated machine. Yeah, this is so enriching, I would say.
Yeah.
The great
For
about
me.
it, you get it as a customer in your hands, and you get your creativity open
Yeah.
without writing scientific texts and without doing anything. You just get a box. You say, wow, that's crazy. That's really good. I will buy the next one.
Yeah.
And there is no need to be colored or whatever. No. Jan just yesterday placed on LinkedIn, I think it was yesterday, a comparison between brown box, generally, a package in the shelf, and all the standards colored and so on. Only their package step out of all the others. All the others has been just colored mix of whatever, but your eyes just get exactly the one. And the great about it, the next time you can refill it again because there is no print on it. You can put another product in it. Just the size of the product has to be the same, but why not?
Yeah.
So that's great about it. Okay, just small comment from me again.
Thank you so much, gentlemen, for coming on the show today. It's been a very amazing session, and thank you, Jan, for taking us through your products and your company and the operations and things that you have to teach the industry, actually. And I think that our conversations are still going to continue even after this, because there is a great opportunity for us to be able to impact the others, not just through business, but also through your ideas and innovative, efforts that you put into the products that you do, because it's not just about wrapping up products, but it's really about putting, a lot of efforts into what you wrap up with a product. What else can we use them for? And giving it a second, third, fourth, and so on lives. So thank you so much for coming on the Green Living Chats, and thank you so much for contributing to this segment of how Industry 5.0 will look in the packaging industry. And you're a perfect example of this sustainable new change in the industry. Michael, do you have something else to say? We can wrap up.
My electric unicycle is charged already, so probably not.
Ready to go.
No, it was, I will say once, it is needed that similar talks will be accessible to all, and many industries do the same. Stop hiding behind the company's secrets, which everybody knows, but let's reveal the ways how to do it. Because I think the same strategy like Kappa has to work with their employees to raise up their awareness, including the delivery of the results, can be used in wood processing industries, food industry, it doesn't matter where, in hospital, everywhere. Because our minds are generally looking very similar. So the brains inside this something looks similar. The only difference is the way how we use it.
Yeah.
And if we go for one goal, as I said, and I would be happy if it will be the wasteless world, then we will do it. We do not have to wait till 2035 until some other stamp will come on a paper. No.
Now.
Today, right now, everyone who will listen to this conversation, who will watch it, from that moment, he or she changed their mind, and he or she will deliver. And if you continue, which I will be very happy, David, and so as Jan continue on their policy, we will, even us, we with Jan, we are almost in the same age category. You are much younger than us, but even us, we will see the wasteless world.
Yeah.
You will live in it, and our children will live. And that's the point which I would like to say. Thanks to all who really start to change and do, not just talk, but deliver the results, not the promises.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you both. It was great Saturday morning for